The quiet rural village of Almodington, where the greenhouses are proposed at the other end of the village. Dries, you're going to just fill us in about this Almodington Association and what it's all about.
Yeah, we are here to defend the potential destruction of the Manhood Peninsula. What is happening is that Madestein have applied to build a 52-acre glasshouse on the eastern farm site. What is really relevant here is that they own another 400 or so acres around Eastern Farm, and they have been known to tell people that if they get planning permission for Eastern Farm, they will build glass houses on the rest of their land. This means that the whole nature of the peninsula will change from being open farmland to effectively a great big glass house factory.
Is that like behind you? Is that what we're talking?
Glass, right behind me.
Wow.
Everything you see there, glass. 7 meters high, glass.
Wow, that's a bit scary.
It is. And also you have to remember that all of this is going to generate massive amounts of traffic, heavy goods vehicles, and there's only one way that they can get out of the peninsula. It is along Almodington Lane, which is at best 4.5 meters wide, and 2 trucks can't pass there. And then they have to hit the 286 and go up to Donington, the roundabout at the A27. As we all know, traffic is in chaos more often than not already. Now add 50, 60 heavy goods vehicles a day, 365 days of the year, and you have chaos. The whole nature, the whole ambience, the whole amenity of the peninsula will just change irrevocably for the worse.
Great. Thanks a lot for that. Now perhaps
Okay,
so what are they actually going to grow here?
Well, we're told that they're going to grow lettuce. That is lettuce in the ground. 52 acres worth of lettuce in the ground would produce enough lettuce for the whole population of the United Kingdom. This is by the applicant's own words. If they're going to grow something else, likely it will be, how many lettuces can the Brits eat? Right? It may be that they will end up growing something else. And if it's not Madestein, then maybe a future tenant might be there. They could then grow cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers. The yields on those types of vegetables are far greater, far higher than on lettuce, and that would mean increased vehicle movements accordingly.
So what about the job argument?
Well, the applicants claim that this facility is going to produce 65 new full-time equivalent jobs. That in itself must be in question, but I'm not going to argue with them. The real fact is that the overall economy of the peninsula, which is largely reliant on tourism, is bound to suffer as a result of the loss of amenity and the increase in traffic on our narrow roads.
So what about this, is it hydroponics, is that the word?
Yeah, hydroponics. That means you grow it in water, the vegetables, or the lettuce in this instance. The interesting thing is you don't need soil for that, because it's literally great big trays in which the lettuces are grown in fertilized water. And if you don't need soil and only need water, then you can stack the trays of water above each other. This possibly explains why the glass houses are going to be 7 meters high. Why would you need 7-meter glass house if you're going to grow lettuce in the soil, which would be a couple of centimeters high? But we're assuming that it will be in water. And the real scary bit about that is that if you have trays and trays and trays, one above the other, obviously the footprint in which you grow, if you have 5 layers of tray, then you have 5 times 52 acres of space in which you're growing. And that means that the traffic generated would be 5 times greater than what the applicants currently allege, i.e. 18 vehicles, 17 vehicles a day. So that is what we are really worried about. And a sensible grower would use hydroponic methods because that is the way the industry goes all around the world. And we expect that will happen here as well.
Okay, Johnny, so what does this greenhouse application mean to the community?
You know, what's happening around here, Dee, at the moment is that this is turning into a battle. It's turning into a very important battle between profit-driven, very greedy big business and the will of the people. Now, we represent the will of the people here, and the people have spoken. Nobody in this area wants this development, and they are frightened of it. The scale of this operation is absolutely enormous. That the footprint of this development is over 3 times bigger than the footprint of Terminal 5 at Heathrow, and that is one of the largest buildings in the country. You've got to remember too that 50 acres of glass houses, 7 metre high, is the equivalent of 45 international football pitches, all covered with 22-foot high glass. This is an enormous scale, and people are frightened of it. And more than that, I've had the pleasure of meeting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of my neighbours as a part of fighting this campaign. It's been one of the really good things that's come out of fighting the glasshouse proposal. And in meeting all of those people, I have sensed the degree of fear and the degree of hopelessness amongst ordinary people, the ordinary people who live throughout this area. They don't want the glasshouse proposal, but they believe that there's nothing they can do about it. They believe that this is big business sorted out behind closed doors, that they don't have the power to be able to stop it. And we say that we do have the power to stop it. And that is why we're representing this community who are so opposed to this development. You have to remember too that the people have already spoken. Chichester District Council have never had so many letters, opposing a planning application as they have received against this glasshouse proposal. That we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of names on our own website, people who support us. These are the little people, if you like, who do not want this thing to come. The people have been represented very well by our local district councillors who have turned this thing down. They've turned it down 12-0 at the recent planning committee meeting at Chichester District Council. So we have a democratic basis for our opposition to this scheme. People don't want it. They have stuck their hands up. They have given money. They have written letters. Their councillors, our democratically elected representatives, have turned it down 100%. And yet, big business has the facility to appeal to the government. There is now going to be a public inquiry. And I don't know what this says about democracy, but we're now having to raise an enormous amount of money to pay lawyers, to pay professional experts, planning consultants, traffic consultants, in order to defend our community at public inquiry. Yes, we need the money, but what a shame that we have to fight this all the way. We need all help we can get to fight this proposal. We need your help. If you feel you want to help this community fight this huge, greedy and very inappropriate proposal, then please go to our website, www.almodington.org.uk. There you will find all the details of this proposal, everything that we are doing to stop it, and you will find there too a way of being able to give us the money we need to fight this proposal at the upcoming public inquiry. Thank you.
Brilliant.